Hello, welcome to 2nd Winchester. This is a really fun battle. You can take a look at how much money and how many men I have left, and also the enemy force pool. In this battle, I managed to get 11 to 1, counting medicine, and get 14,000 kills. Well, almost 15,000, which is pretty good considering the size of the enemy force to start with. Uh, no enemy units get away, so I guess that was just units that shattered. So I'm going to skip over the part where I put the units down and deploy them, and this is as the battle starts. So anyway, I want to occupy the woods, but I don't want to occupy the fortifications because fortifications suck, and will get your men killed. And what I do in this battle is what I do in a lot of battles. You've maybe noticed this pattern, is I like to clear the enemy out of sections of the map so that the enemy can't sneak around behind my lines and get into mischief. And the enemy will do that. The AI will sneak behind your line and seize victory locations from you. And one of the things I want to do is make sure that doesn't happen. So what I want to do is I want to clear out the northern part of the map and then the western part of the map and then the southern part of the map and drive the enemy into a tiny corner in the southeastern corner of the map. And I put a skirmisher unit over to a detached skirmisher over to the right to keep an eye on the enemy. And detached skirmishers have much greater visibility than regular infantry. So that's always a good thing to have detached skirmishers out and maybe even to get a shot on the enemy like I'm trying to do here before they fall back and rejoin the parent unit. So anyway, that's what you're going to see. At this point, I think all the officers in this force are 2-star. And, if you're doing this strategy, the big army strategy, the enemy is going to scale up to you. Your officers are going to get lots of promotions. And you're going to be able to build a really nice officer corps. But you have to work continuously on getting your officers' experience. It has to be something that you're focused on. And what I want to do is I want to get every division commander to be a 3-star. And I'm going to be able to do that by the end of the campaign. Every division commander will be 3-star, and half of the generals in First Corps will probably, I think, are 3-star as well. And the rest of them are 2-star. So I end up with a huge inventory of officers. So anyway, what you're going to see is from this point on, pretty much I'll begin the sweep of pushing the enemy out of the northern section of the map and then the western section, and we'll end up in the southeast and and wipe the enemy out. So I'm taking a look at the location of my units right now, and I'm pretty happy where things are. My artillery is close enough to offer support without being too close to get caught in melee. But closer is always better after the initial attack that is inevitable. The enemy is going to attack you, is going to charge, try to close with, and get into melee combat. But as soon as that's over, then getting the artillery closer is better. The other thing you're going to notice is that when I defeat the AI in the north, my units are going to be a little bit tired, and you'll watch me rest my units. So having the commander nearby seems to really help that. There's a big buff to having the commander nearby for morale. And I think condition seems to be. But the big thing is that I allow my units to rest and get condition back. And what I mean by that is if your unit has 0 condition, there's no reason to have them march across the map because it's going to take them forever. They're going to be just terribly slow. You're better off letting them rest for 10 minutes, regain condition, and then have them walk, and they will walk twice as fast. So, I don't know if it's exactly twice as fast, but it's a whole lot faster. And it only takes about 10 minutes in game to recover enough condition to make a big difference. And so, your whole army can take off and leave a unit behind for 10 minutes, and then it catches up later. And that unit is not just able to move faster, but it's able to fight when it gets to where it's going, which is a big deal. So anyway, if you're watching, just pay attention to those two things. The ability to corral the enemy and to funnel them into where you want them and to maintain control of the map is really it's useful in small maps like this one and small battles like this one, but it's really important in big battles on big maps. And particularly in Chickamauga, you're going to see that this really pays off. And because that's a place where the enemy really loves to sneak enemy units around in the woods and keep them hidden and show up in bad places at just the worst time. So anyway, yeah, we get them all in this one, and I'll see you in the next battle. Thanks.